These 3 simple letters saved my life. I remember darkness and pain. I was in the deepest, darkest hole and I could not get out of it. I hated my life, I hated myself, and I wanted out. I was faced with a confronting ultimatum: improve my life or end my life. Hey, I'm Jesse Tanaki, also known as JT the Human, and this is my story. A journey from the negative to the positive. In the depths of all the darkness around me, I chose to improve my life. Against all odds and what seemed like fate, I decided to finally take a stand against the dark wolf at my door and make life better. But how did I find the strength when all I wanted to do was either harm myself or hide or end things? To be honest, I don't really know for sure. Maybe it was the thought of my family, how sad they would be. Maybe it was my friends. Maybe it was because I knew that my purpose in life was not yet fulfilled. Maybe I just flipped a coin. Maybe I just watched some random guy's video and it gave me a little bit of hope. All I know is that I'm grateful that I'm here today. Once I made the decision to make my life better, I was faced with all the roadblock thoughts that my mind could conjure. So, you've decided you want to make your life better. That's great, but now what? You know it won't be easy, right? You know you'll get distracted. You know you'll forget what you're doing and why. You know the dark wolf will chase you. You know this will be one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do. But I guess you're going through all of this because you know it's worth it, right? Now you're aware of this, it's time to get to work. But how are you going to stay focused? How are you going to be strict about what you do? How are you going to make sure you stick to your goal? I knew that I wanted to make my life better. But with all the odds stacked up against me, I knew that I would need help getting through this. The thing is, I kept my darkness from the world. There was no way that I was talking to anyone about this. I never knew how to talk about it, and no one knew how to deal with it if I did talk to them. I knew that I was the only person that was going to be able to help me through this situation. No one knows what I'm going through more than I do. I can do this. But how do I help myself? The simplicity of writing reminders on the back of my hand came to mind. Does anyone else do this? If you need to remember something later, you simply just write it on the back of your hand. Like, say you need to get the milk after work, or you need to pick something up from the dry cleaners. Or am I the only one? Either way, I thought this little concept would be perfect for me. So I picked up a permanent marker and wrote what I needed to remember on the back of my hand. Make life better. To be honest, I rubbed it off straight away. It was way too much, and make life better took up most of my hand. After that, I decided that I would simply just write MLB, which I knew would symbolize and stand for make life better. It would symbolize my fight. It would symbolize my positive growth. It would symbolize my willingness to improve myself. Make life better was my ticket to life, far away from the pain that I was in. The beauty of having letters there instead of the whole words was I could make up a story and distract people if I didn't feel like talking about it when they pointed it out. I can't tell you how many people think that it was there because I'm a Major League Baseball fan. Thankfully, over time, I gained the strength to be able to talk about it with those that I knew that I could. Another negative that turned into a beautiful positive was when I realized that me writing this on the back of my hand with pen, it was eventually going to fade and wear away. This negative required me to reapply it constantly, which, what seems like an annoying task, was the perfect commitment to me making life better. Every time I saw it fade, I would reapply the ink, and it was the perfect symbol for me to reinstill my hope, my strength, and my will to make life better. These 3 simple letters saved my life. Now, best believe when I reached my goal and felt strong enough to rub those 3 little letters off the back of my hand, I felt invincible. The markings weren't there, but the sentiment felt permanent. I knew the dark wolf could never be slain, but it couldn't mess with me anymore. I felt whole. I felt light. Since then, I now have MLB tattooed behind my left ear. It's a symbol that it will always be a part of me, but it's behind me. I always knew the strength of my mind's negativity, but I learned that my mind's positivity is way stronger. Have you ever watched the Pixar movie Monsters, Inc? Remember in the beginning how they used to always harness the screams, focus on the negative, and move in the darkness? Then to realize, after all this, that laughter, positivity, and moving in the light is so much more powerful. It's so beautiful. We as humans work the same. Yes, the darkness can seem strong, but there's nothing stronger than the power of light and positivity. Look, don't get me wrong, things aren't always perfect. I can drift through the darkness from time to time. But for me, it's a focus on having more better days than bad days. Life doesn't get easier, we just get stronger. and learn to stand a little longer. If you're someone who's in need to make their life better, or know someone that is and you want to show your support, consider writing MLB on the back of your left hand in permanent pen. I have a lot that I want to discuss, bring to light, and raise awareness about in the mental health space, especially with men's mental health. So hopefully I can do a few more videos on this down the track or as they're requested. We have a long way to go in humanity when it comes to mental health, but every step gets us a little closer. One day at a time, keep applying the ink and make life better.